I guess when I was growing up in this area, there was always a lot going on, and at the time it was more the churches and the community centres that we don't have anymore, or which are about to probably disappear, to be honest, that drove that. And now it tends to be Facebook and social media. So I think there was a gap where one sort of connector network was fading, and we lost our community centre, we lost our large church, but that's kind of been taken over by social media. And I suppose for me it's clearest where you look at photographs from the past of Jubilee parades, of street parties on the front outside, with tables. It used to be tables from the local church that people would rig up, and it would be very organised, whereas now it's just people's garden furniture that they tend, and camping gear that they tend to bring outside. So I suppose that's the shift, but it's lovely sometimes seeing my kids doing exactly the same things that I did. We did a Christmas parade float, and I can remember being on a float when I was about 3 or 4, and it's a very clear memory just sitting on my mum's lap, on the float, and just being like, whoa, as it went past. And it was fantastic that we were able to sort of my children were able to have that experience, but also we kind of took it a step further, and rather than having organisations put together a float, we literally had the kids with paintbrushes in their hands, and our signs were literally put together by the kids. We had star theme, the children actually made stars. We had sessions at the local pub where they put together, everything was covered in glitter, and that was absolutely fantastic. And to get that sort of connection back, it meant a lot, and it meant a lot to the people who watched, it meant a lot for people who saw, and that community, even the people that weren't involved, actually have got closer as a result of that. So yeah. So
you think it should be more interaction like we used to have?
Oh yeah, and very
children,
low tech, low input.
Yeah.
Everything's been done on a shoestring. Yeah. We got some paint from the dump that we recycled. Everything was done in people's back gardens and painted. Things were stored at the local allotment containers. It's all that sort of stuff. But it's critical that you've got some infrastructure behind you. So we were able to use a local allotment container that they use for a meeting space, and that was then multi-purposed. So it's sort of being aware and having that network and being able to use what's already there, rather than every group coming up with an individual set of resources, spreading the word of what's there, and being able to share and work more collaboratively. So yeah.
Yeah,
great.
But that's the way it used to be years ago, didn't it?
That's exactly it, yeah.
Everybody, didn't matter whether it was in this community, like I remember play schemes with other communities.
Oh yeah.
And we'd go and visit them.
Yeah. So, and when I was a kid, I went to street parties in Mayhill as well, because my best friend lived up the road. We all went Terrace Road, and so that you'd have things happening here, you'd have things happening there, but there'd always be a crossover, or people's man would live up the road, or do you know what I mean? There's always a crossover, and that's nice that things aren't just around a single community, but it's more of a patchwork that melds into each other.
So never mind about roles and things like that, just get together, have some community fun days.
Absolutely, yeah.
Paintings, you don't need things for that.
Messy stuff, outdoor stuff. I think a lot of it is the getting back to basics thing, because the high-tech, expensive stuff we all do for our kids, even if you don't have a lot. Those things tend to be, the priorities, whereas just kids playing together, running after hoops, painting stuff, running down the hill after an egg, incredibly captivating for children. You wouldn't believe it,
and
but
for us.
And for us, absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah, it was lovely.